What's up, beautiful bosses? My name is J Marie, and in today's video, I'm going to be giving you some of my top tips that I've used to save money in my 20s. And in doing so, what I've been able to accomplish is paying off large sum of debt, saving for big financial goals, and just all around investing. So if you guys are interested, please stay tuned. Okay, so tip number one is to always make sure that you pay yourself first. And what I mean by this is every time you get a check, make sure that you are taking at least 10% out of that check and using that on yourself, whether that's to pay off a debt, whether that is to invest or just save for a big goal that you have. Always make sure that you are paying yourself first. That's tip number one. Tip number two, I know this is cliche and I know you guys probably hear it all the time, but make sure you are living below your means. If you are only making 40K a year, make sure you are not spending 50 and 60K a year because the money ain't mathing for that. So make sure you are not spending above your means. If you're only bringing in $1,200-$1,300 every 2 weeks, do not spend $1,500-$1,600. Live below your means and create a gap. And when I say a gap, I mean the gap is what you're bringing home versus what you're spending. And that gap in between should be the extra that you're able to save. Tip number three is to get rid of any unnecessary expenses. Ladies, y'all know what I'm talking about. Whether that's your subscriptions that you forgot about, or just any kind of services or anything like that that you guys don't use, that's not important to you. Get rid of any unnecessary expenses. That's tip number three. Now, tip number four, and I don't know who needs to hear this, but stop being cheap, okay? Stop being cheap. Now, this was a big lesson learned for me. Your girl is cheap. Like, I'm super cheap. And I'm trying to learn to get out of that habit. And for me, like, I used to love getting jeans that were like $20 and $30. I didn't want to have to splurge on a pair of jeans. But what I started realizing is those $20 and $30 pair of jeans, those jeans only lasted a few washes before I had to toss them in the garbage. Then once I started buying jeans that was like $60, $70, $80, I started realizing these jeans were lasting me for years. So ladies, stop being cheap. If it's stuff that's important to you and things that you value, do not skimp on the price because cheaper is not always better. Believe me, it does not last. So stop being cheap. Tip number four. Now, tip number five, this is my favorite one and this is the biggest one. Practice no spend days. What I mean is set at least 1 or 2 days out the week where you're not going to spend any money, nothing. You're going to make sure that if you got to go somewhere, you already got gas in your car. You got food in your fridge, so you ain't got to stop out nowhere and get no food. And just make sure you're not going to spend no money. So practice no spend days. And for me, this has really helped. When I started working from home, I decided that I wasn't going to spend money on the weekdays because I didn't have to commute. I had food in the fridge. I was good. Not spending no money on the weekdays, sorry. Now, in doing so, I was able to splurge and spend more money on the weekends because I had saved so much by not spending money on the weekdays. And I was actually able to dump some more into savings because I wasn't doing anything with that money. So guys, these are my top 5 tips that I've used to save money while in my 20s. Your girl is wrapping up her 20s this year. We'll be entering into my 30s. I'm very excited, but I wanted to share with you guys some of the things that I've been doing to save money, to be able to pay off debt, to invest, and to also save for big financial goals. I hope you guys enjoy, and please check out my other videos if you guys are interested in my channel. Until next time, thank you.